So it's time for yet another player comparison video, and today is not about forwards, it's not about defenders, but it's about the ones running the strings in the middle of the park, about midfielders who have graced the Premier League in the past decade, two of the very best. I think at face value, it seems like the answer is pretty clear at face value when you look at it from one side, but if you delve into it deeper, I mean it's much closer than it looks. But anyways, we're talking about the two midfielders, David Silva and Mesut Ozil, shined for Manchester City and Arsenal respectively in the Premier League. And starting with you, Victor, who was the better player in your opinion, and why?
Yeah, I feel like Silva was more consistent, but Özil had those flashes of brilliance that were a sight to behold. Over the course of their careers, if you look at goal contributions per game, Özil has a better ratio. But for what they meant to the Premier League alone, I have to go with David Silva here. He was just one of those who really put City on the map.
Yeah, fair enough. And I think if there's going to be any easy question in this video, Mark, this one is for you. It has to be the easiest question of the lot. Who was more impactful for their club between both players?
Yeah, mate, definitely Ozil. He won 0 Premier League trophies. Bro, I'm kidding. Of course, it's Silva. I mean, he succeeded with two different Man City squads, like before Pep arrival and after all. While Ozil, okay, yeah, obviously he was a great player. He was the flashiest one at Arsenal squad, I'd say, at the moment when he was playing. But for me, his time at Real Madrid was even better than at Arsenal, for me personally. So I'd say in this one, it's definitely going to Silva.
Yeah, fair enough. And Victor, who was more of a joy to watch on and off the ball?
Oh man, I feel like Özil's passes were just mesmerizing when he felt like it. On and off the ball, they were both fantastic, but Özil had that get us on our feet moments more and
Yeah,
more often. So for this as a joy to watch, yeah, I need to go with Özil.
fair enough. And Max, as a manager, who would you rather have in your team?
I mean, I have to go with Silva actually, because at least for me, it's better to have that type of versatile player in the middle that can play not only in the attack, he can also be effective at defensive times for the team when they need him. And also, I'd say Ozil is not the player that will run 50 meters to the back and help your team. He would stay in the middle of the opponent's box and wait for the ball to show that he is a good player. So I'd better pick Silva and he will help my team every time.
Yeah, Victor, your opinion?
Yeah, I agree. As a coach, you value work rate above all else, and I would pick Silva as well because he was always more willing to carry the piano than just play it. Özil did so well because he had vision, and don't get me wrong, he could also harry and press, but he didn't do it as often. Some of that might be down to tactical instructions, but the fact remains that Silva was just more of a hard worker.
Fair enough. And on a final note, Victor, which player's quality, in your opinion, is more suited for modern day football? I mean, using their prime, you know, as a reference point.
Yeah, I think both would have a place of honor in almost any EPL starting 11 today. Um, but because either of them would be playing today in only the biggest of teams, right? I think that would mean they would be facing a low block defense in a lot of games. And for unlocking that, Özil was always better suited. His vision and his execution were almost flawless, and Silva would probably still do brilliantly today because of his many qualities, but Özil would most likely be just as fascinating as ever.
Yeah, Max, your thoughts on that?
Yeah, I mean, I can agree with Victor, at least for the games and Prem against some teams like Sunderland or so. But actually, in the Champions League, sometimes against like teams like PSG, you need to improve in both sides. And I'd say what was said about Silva, it would definitely fit the team better at the moment than Ozil.
Yeah, fair enough. I think it depends on how look at your opponent. I mean, both players are obviously good at, breaking defenses in any way. But like Victor put it, if you're talking specifically about the Premier League, because we're using the Premier League as a reference point, most of the teams they would face will probably go, in a low block if they will be in a superior team. So, and based on that, I would say Ozil will be more suitable in that regard. But two of them will excel, but Ozil will slightly enjoy himself more. So yeah, and on that note, we'll leave our viewers to join us in the conversation and answer that question: who was the better midfielder in the Premier League? Who was more impactful? Who was more of a joy to watch? And who would you rather have in your team between David Silva and Mesut Ozil?